Right. Hey. お願いします。Down side to side. And ear to shoulders. Circles one way. Circles the other way. Arms forward and arms going back. So, so breathing in, ki, ko, ki, ko, and ki, ko. Nice one. Untied. Wait, yo ho. And cheek. Hey, Yoko. Hey, knees together. Circles. And the other way. So, and doubles to one direction, the other direction. So, sideways. Hey, front, back, front, back, front, front. Opening toes. Hey, so, parallel. Oh. Eh. Ish. Inside, Uchi. Outside, Soto. And on top, Ue. Ki. To. Ni ki. Ko. San ki. Ko. Hey. Ish. Standing up. The foot in front. Una kogi. In front. Hands in front. Hey. 이, 호, 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 이, 호. 이씨. Hey, one foot in front. Hey. Isa, 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 Isa. Hey, so say that before we continue. I was in Japan last week because we had the our yearly All Japan Aikido demonstration, which went really well. Thanks to Moreno Sensei, who invites us and allows us to join him every year in this demonstration. And that also gave us the opportunity to train at Hongu Dojo for several days, which is also a wonderful opportunity. One thing that I mentioned about Hongu Dojo training is that especially the morning class, which is the class with Doshu, the grandson of Osensei, or with Doyo Cho, the great grandson of Osensei, are really busy classes. A lot of people come to those classes. And when there are big events like this demonstration that we participated on Saturday, a lot of people come from all over Japan and from different parts of the world. So it gets even more busy. It's really, really busy mat. So one feature of a very busy mat is that there is very little space, if any, to take ukemi. So it's difficult to move around. It's difficult to take ukemi. and so on. So some people just correctly just go into back stretches for a particular technique. They don't go all the way down to the ground, which is prudent. But some people still try to go down to the ground. So going down to the ground is not so much the problem. Is do you have the physical capacity to do it in a controlled manner, and you have the technique to do it in a controlled manner. So one thing that we've been reviewing in the last few days in the dojo has been, this capacity of making well, not a small ukemi, but take ukemi in small spaces. Okay, and there are several things that we need to remember for that. So to start with, we're going to begin with one thing that was basically the bread and butter of beginning Ukemi once upon a time, which, sometimes these days we do the very beginning of Ukemi, we start doing Ushiro Ukemi. But really the very beginning of Ukemi is this version of sideward rolls where you're just bending your knees, right? Then raising one leg, raising one hand, and learning to move the body on one direction. Raising the other leg, raising the other hand, moving the body in the other direction. So it's very important that your hands remains more or less parallel to your leg. No, so much outside here. Definitely not under the leg. That sometimes happens when people sometimes takes big ukemi. Sometimes they do this and then they put the leg on top, and that's that's mildly dangerous in the sense that you can squeeze your hand and keep your leg. But so that gets corrected by repeating, for quite a good period of time. This is basic ukemi, okay, where you post on one leg, you extend on the other one, and you extend the same arm parallel to the ground. Okay, so we're just going to do that ukemi a few times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay. So that's okay, number one, in the sense that it reminds us of that capacity to remain parallel, from your body and how to pose and things. So now we're going to sit down here, and in sitting position, we're going to do the same thing. Well, come up and do the same thing, but from a sitting position. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So that, apart from continuing the coordination of your leg and your arm, it gives you a little bit of a sit-up to do a little bit of exercise. So, okay, so that kind of now progresses to doing it and standing up. If you are not ready to do standing up and you want to continue on your back or continue just sitting down, then it's okay for you to do that. In actual fact, it's important to do that for a long time. When I started training for about 6 months, I was on the side mat, just doing, what beginners do, which is learning basic movements. And that kind of movement was, we spent a long time doing that movement, a lot of time. So I cannot stress how much it's important to repeat these basic things. But anyway, now if we were standing up though, we need to remember that the basic Yoko Ushiro Ukemi, which we do, which is in one, right? We go up, and then down, up and so on. It's a good ukemi for it's the typical Jokushi ukemi for Aikido, but that comes from a more basic form of ukemi, which is more related to the movement that we were doing just then, which is just basically standing up here, one left foot in front, one back, and then down, and just break fall, literally, like receive sideways in that way. So it's a much more compact, much smaller, doesn't require, the other ukemi, I started here and then I finish about 3 or 4 mats down there. But on this one, I'm just basically going to finish exactly in the point where I'm standing. So if you're able to do that, you need a little bit of support on one leg, but basically standing up on this side, down, see, and break. Okay? So, and then go to the other side, get it down, sit and break. So let's do a few together, or continue doing them on the back, or doing sitting up, or doing them standing up, whatever is correct for your environment and your own body. Okay? So 1 and 2. So 3. So 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. So that basic Yoko Ukemi, it's important for a number of reasons. Number one, because it's much more compact than the long Ukemi. So we're just staying there. And also teaches us to sweep the leg, which eventually is important in a few techniques. Remember, there is a very direct link in the same way that we have Yokogake, which is when we do a sacrificial technique in order to project uke. Uke comes, grab my 2 shoulders, I take the Yokushi Ukemi, I flip their leg, and then I move them to the side, and that becomes a sacrificial technique, you know. Um, in this case, our ability to sweep the leg, okay, sweep the leg and be able to go down, it is important for some a little bit more advanced techniques where, for example, I control my partner's arm and I sweep my leg and I come down into their own arm with my body weight, So that's that's it's important to know for the body to know with that position. When you go, you're going to grab a Hijiki Menage, where you grab the wrist, you control the elbow. You can just control the elbow up here, okay, and just control your partner's elbow. Sometimes in more advanced movements, the person goes, sweeps the legs and controls all the way down to the ground with the hand position. But it's really important that the nage, in this case, is used to that movement, so it can do it as in a as controlled manner as possible. Okay, but anyway, so that basic Joko Ukemi begins from this basic movement, and we can never repeat basic movements too many times. Okay, so now the other so that's number one. That's the first way of doing a small ukemi. The other one is that when we do our basic Yokushiro ukemi, sometimes it's okay. It's important for us to also be able to stop halfway. Yeah. And then come back. Having control on our legs is very important because what we don't want is to have somebody there and boom, hit them with our own legs. So, okay, being able to control our legs and maybe stop them in the middle, okay, which is the smallest position that we can get, is very important too. sorry, it's a very important exercise to do. So from your sitting position, you're going to do Yoko, Ushiro, Ukemi, and your legs are going to stop in the middle, pointing upwards. Okay, one, so and two, so and three, so four, so five, six, seven, so eight, nine, so 10. Change side. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Okay. So yeah, so that exercise or that capacity of always remembering that it's our responsibility to control our legs. Okay, it's very important in order to. It's a good exercise for your core. It's a good exercise for your core muscles, but it's also always going to be an important thing. Let's say I'm training here, and on this case there is a wall. Okay, my partner projecting on this side. 1, 2. Okay, I should be able to stop my legs and don't touch the wall or don't hit to the side. Always control your legs when you are doing that from standing up. Okay, this position here, when you go 1, 2, and then you just control your legs. And then you can do it against the other side. Not here, go. Control here and control your legs. Make sure they don't fall. Okay, so your half. So one exercise is your Ukemi, basically Ukemi extending the leg. Second one is being able to control your legs or doing a half Joko Shiro Ukemi. It's another way to stay nice and tight. And the third one is an exercise that is called sometimes it's called Joko or Ushiro Otoshi, which is the exercise where we come down here, down, then we are in a very small space. So to do that exercise, you require a little bit more suppleness on your back and health on your toes and ankles and knees. So it's not for everybody, but if it's possible for you to do it, even if you cannot do the full motion, to do the preparatory movements is very good for your own body maintenance. So you can start that preparatory movements in several ways. So number one, for example, we bend our knees, lay on your back, bend your knees, okay? And in that natural position, you're going to engage your core muscles and raise your hips, okay? Once you do that, you extend your hand above your head, okay? And hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come down. And again, engage core, raise hips, and extend above. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. And one more time, engage core, raise hip, and above. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. One more time, engage, raise, and above. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. So at this point, this position is very natural. It's as deep as your legs coming, but it's just to prepare the lower back. So now this time we're going to do the same. We're going to keep the same height. We're going to engage core, raise hips, curve your arms, and now we're going to be going side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20, and relax. Okay. So depending how you feel in your lower back, if your lower back is tightening it up a little bit, remember to do your decompressing exercises, which sometimes can be primarily these four or these the next three. So you move side to side, you extend one leg and bend it, extend the other leg and bend the other one, extend both legs, bend both, hold there, and the last one, so it's four exercises. And then the last one, you just raise legs and hold and breathe. Okay. So to decompress your back, there are many exercises to do it, but on the floor, moving side to side, um, collapsing one leg, collapsing two legs, and stretching both legs and holding is a good way to give a bit of a relief to your lower back. Anyway, depending how you're feeling. Okay, so next preparatory exercise is going to be, if possible, you're going to grab your feet, your legs. You're going to try to bring them as possible to your bum. That's going to challenge the flexibility of your knee and the capacity of your ankles. But you're going to bring them in as much as possible, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to raise your hip. Okay, now your heels are off the ground, and you're going to just go again and go stretching above your head. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. And you can extend your legs. Okay. So we're going to do it one more time. So this time we're going to grab your legs, bring them close to your bum. Try to bring them as close as possible. Okay. Raise your hips. Okay. And extend above your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Okay. All right. So for the next preparatory exercise for the backwards and forwards roll, okay. We basically I'm going to do an exercise which is again important to do for the particular way in which Moreno Sensei wants us to practice our pinning techniques. Remember, when you have a person pinning them down, okay, in a Nikyo or a Sankyo, some people go down one knee and then the second knee, and then they finish their pin. Okay, Moreno Sensei really encourages us to try to have that pin and then both knees down the same time and pin. That capacity to go both knees down, obviously, it's very dependent on your health of your knees and your toes. He goes to the point of saying, well, if you cannot do that, then just finish your pin standing up or finish your pin in a squatting position. So basically what he's saying, standing position and squatting position are better than one knee down and second knee down. Okay, so, but if you can do both knees at the same time, then you can also do that. So anyway, another time we'll review our pinning positions from kneeling or in seiza, from squatting and from standing. So 3 options, depending on how your condition is. But if you can put both knees down, then that's a good thing. So now, to start that process of trying to kind of do the both knees down, we are going to put your 2 feet side to side, knees here, and just go down, put your knees on the ground, and use your help to kind of come up again. Go down, use help, put knees on the ground, come up, get up again. Down, use help of your arms, put knees on the ground, up again. Down, help, down, up, again. Down, help, down, up, again. Down, use your arms, down, up, and again. A couple more times. Down, help, down, up, stop. One more time. Down, up, up. Okay, so now that's number 1. So that's hopefully, we can do it with a little bit of help, before going down on your hands. So that, you were using your hands and then using them to kind of go down and then using them a little bit to go up. You have a lot of support in there. So on the next one, we're going to do the same thing, both hopefully without support. You can always break it into two. You can always go one all the way down, rest a little bit here, and then up, moving all the way up. Okay, and use support in any moment, or you can use your hands if you still need it. Okay, but if you can do it in a continuous motion, that's okay. Please be careful with your knee. Please be careful to the reality of the condition of your knee. Just do whatever you need to do that is correct. Remember, if you want to even slow it down a little bit, you can always come as much as possible to this squat position and just go down and up, be in the squat position, down and up, be in the squat position, down and up a few times, and then getting up. Okay, now fully squat position, fully using your hands, having a pause in between the two movements, or do it like I'm hopefully going to be able to do it now, which is a little bit of a continuous movement. Okay, so and one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10. Okay. Hey. So that's kind of working on the flexibility of your ankles, of your toes and your ankles, and eventually of your knees. Usually the knees are the more, well, depending, different people has different problems at different levels of the body, but usually the knees, for me, are the ones that I have to be careful and just check. All right. Assuming that is okay, otherwise you can always, it's always important to pedal back to basic exercises wherever it's not okay. So assuming that is okay, then you do the next exercise, which is going down, okay, into that position. Now, in this exercise, the point is that I'm going to try to reach my shoulder, my upper body to the ground. Now, if I just throw myself, then that's when I can't. It's going to feel awkward, okay? So instead of throwing my shoulder, or my arm, what I'm going to do is extend my hip. By extending my hip, okay, my knees are going to go down, and progressively my arm is going to go down. So again, it's not easy in the beginning, but it's the process, in order to be able to do it standing up. One important thing of Ushiro Toshis is that one shoulder goes down first, and then the second one goes after, okay? So not both at the same time. One goes first, and then the second one, okay? So let's see how it feels. So down here on your knees, and now your hip goes forward, okay? Go down, and you change. Okay, up again, down, your hip goes forward, you go down, and up, good, up, down again, your hip goes forward, you go down on one side, and this. So again, down, your hip goes forward, go one side, up, yes. Okay, again, down, hip goes forward, down, inside, up, down, hip goes forward, down, side, up, and so on. So again, remember, it just depends a lot on the health of your lower body. This short Ukemi depends a lot on that. So it's not compulsory, but it's a good mobility exercise. And there are many levels, as I just did before, that you can do. Once all of those things are more or less in place, and you can do that one from a squatted position, then I guess the only thing that you have left is to try to do it from standing up, which is in this position. Going to the side. So this position, down, up, and down. So if you're doing it from standing position, just remember to not throw yourself, to not arch your back and throw yourself. The process is the same here. Ideally, okay, depending how much your partner is helping you or not, you lower your knees, you stay in your hips and you turn around. You stand in position, you lower your knees, you extend your hip, and you reach, and so on. So we got basically exercises from everything from the very basic to do three types of small ukemi or ukemi for small spaces. Ukemi number one, yes, Yoko ukemi, just where you land where you are without taking more space. Okay. Ukemi number two, okay, where you hold your legs and prevent them from moving and keeping moving else. And ukemi number three, okay, you go down and we just use that space. As we saw for those three types of ukemi, for a small space, there is more important, more probably than the capacity to do that ukemi in small space are the preparatory exercises that gets us there, right? So the capacity to do these, hundreds and hundreds of times, very important. The capacity to hold your legs, okay, from one side to the other, one side to the other, and just have control over your legs. And then all the preparatory exercises that we did for the Ushiro Toshi, okay, where you go backwards in that way, preparing your lower back, and then you come forward this way to prepare for your knees and ankles. So, in a sense, the ukemi is not the most important thing, but the maintenance that is given to our body through the preparatory exercises is possibly more relevant. Okay, if all of that fails, if everything else fails, you always have good and nice partners who just will give you a back stretch, in order to not use more space than required. So it's all fine. Okay. Um, so the very last thing, just want to share because I shared this with the dojo in during the week. This month we'll be talking about how our training extends towards our life and which things our training invite us to consider in our everyday life. And we have done several things during the weeks. But now in this last visit to Japan, I was saying to the dojo that very close to the Hombu dojo or where we train, it's in the middle of Tokyo. It's a very suburban area, so there's nothing. Tokyo is beautiful and it's always exciting to be in, but there is nothing particularly different from the area. It's a suburban area of Tokyo. But one beautiful thing of Tokyo is that it's full of shrines, of temples or shrines, of Buddhist temples or Shinto shrines, pretty much everywhere. And some of them are big and majestic, and some of them are little, and you can almost not see them. So there is one like that, very close to Kombudoyo. It's a very little shrine that you could almost completely pass because there's nothing really that highlights it. But anyway, apparently it has been there for a long, long time, as in almost 1,000 years. So it's a very old thing that has been in there. And the beautiful thing of this time is that outside had a poster from one of the events, that happens sometimes in the shrine, and the poster read in Japanese something like, "People are the mirror of people." Okay, he said, "People are the mirror of people," or "People reflect people," and so that kind of stay with me and stay with the trip. The fact of how sometimes our attitude towards other people clearly it sets the dynamics of the relationship and of the interaction that we are having. The fact that we all reflect each other's moods and energies and intentions and things like that. So whenever we're having a problem with something or with someone or finding ourselves in a difficult situation, an uncomfortable situation, maybe, and just maybe, we can do the exercise of trying to shift the attitude in ourselves. Probably, maybe that will have some impact on how that is the reflection that we have from the other person. So, mirror people are the mirror of people. So, for whatever that's worth, that's what I found on this trip. So that's why I share it with people, with you, and hopefully it's of use. Okay, let's finish up. Hey, hey, arigato gozaimashita.
ありがと